everyone, welcome to Savvy Looks, where I like to take outdated or damaged secondhand furniture and give it a whole new life. This week I'm working on this beautiful mid-century dresser. It's a commissioned piece from my old teacher. It's a family piece and he really wanted it freshened up and painted. It's beautiful as is, of course, except for it is fairly damaged on the top, but he wanted a new fresh look. And I was super excited to start working on this piece because I loved the plan that we had for it and I just love the shape and style of this dresser. I started by removing all of the hardware and then cleaning everything really well with a degreasing cleaner and then rinsing it all back with water. This beautiful dresser needed very little damage repair except for this little area on the top where 2 chunks of veneer were missing. We knew that for sure we wanted to keep the base wooden. I always love these original mid-century bases. I think that they look so cool. So I went ahead and used my 3x4 electric gray surf prep sander and sanded the whole base down to bare wood. Next, I had to tackle the top, which was by far the most damaged area of this whole dresser, and it did have that little bit of wood filler in it. So my original plan was just to sand smooth all of the damaged areas, but I soon realized I really just needed to sand down the entire top to get rid of all of the water damage and blemishes so that I could get a really smooth finish. I also wanted to leave all of these little fluted details on the front of the drawers in the natural wood, so I used, again, my 3x4 electric gray surf prep sander and a foam abrasive sanding pad to not only scuff sand the whole piece, but sand these little fluted dowel pieces down to their bare wood. up was prime time. I used a roller and my favorite Zinsser Bin shellac-based primer and applied it over the whole piece, minus of course the areas that I was keeping wood. I lightly sanded between coats and wiped back all of my dust. We eventually picked a really pretty color. It was a mix of two melange paint colors, Artemisia green and Tally green. I combined these two colors to create a light green sage with a little bit of blue color. I applied 3 full coats of this color with a zebra paintbrush all over the dresser. The tape removal portion did end up being a little bit more messy than I typically like it to be. I had to go around all of the edges of these dowel pieces and both sand away any areas where the primer seeped through and use a little paintbrush to tighten up the little edge where the dowel meets the dresser front. To top coat, I used my Wagner Flexio 3000. This was the first time I ever used the spray gun, and I'm just still very new to spraying, and especially new to the spray gun. I loaded up the container with satin varathane top coat and began spraying onto the dresser. I first did a few tests on a piece of cardboard to try to figure out the settings, but I just didn't end up doing this right. I got my first 2 coats on, and then I was just having problems with the spray gun, so I switched to just brushing on the top coat with a zebra fan brush. I ended up doing a total of about 3 coats of top coat and an additional 4th coat on the top and the higher traffic areas. I also applied this wallpaper to the insides of the drawers. I knew I wanted to spray paint the hardware, but I first gave it a really good cleaning with Barkeeper's Friend and gave it a good scuff sanding with sandpaper. To ensure good adhesion, I started by spraying with a coat of primer and then went in with my spray paint. I started by spray painting this hardware silver. That was the original plan, and then we ended up switching and going with gold. I just repeated the same process with the gold spray paint on top of the old silver paint. I applied a coat of clear spray top coat over the hardware. Again, we ended up going with gold, so I lightly sanded and then repeated the whole same process with gold. And then here you can see I mixed a little bit of black paint with water and then rubbed that onto the whole surface of the hardware and then wiped it right back. To just make it look less flat and actually metallic, I again repeated this with the gold hardware. Let's take one more look at where this dresser started. And here it is now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe here on YouTube and come follow me on Instagram to see my behind the scenes and some more furniture flipping content. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for next week's video.